What's up, guys? Graylan Stewart here with another Work Wednesday. Today's my vlog day, so just thought I would come on today and kind of tell you what's going on in my real estate world. So we've got I hired another person, a follow-up specialist. So that's kind of new news in my business. But yeah, she's going to be following up with um, seller leads that are kind of older, just to kind of get those refreshed. And also, she'll be doing some follow up with some of our buyers as well. And also, some of our rental properties that we sell and rent to own, she'll be following up with potential people interested in doing that. So excited about that because I've needed that position for a while now. Um, because that's important. Any of our leads that we come in, we pay a lot of money in marketing for our potential, for our seller leads, potential deals. But when you've got thousands of leads, it's hard. Acquisitions can't keep track of all of those. So we typically, the way we do it in our business is we set up different queues. So we've got like our hot leads queue, the ones that we think we can close within the next 30 to 45 days. And when I say close, that means, get the deal, not close the whole transaction, but close the seller on allowing us to purchase their house. And then we've got the queue, short-term nurture leads that my acquisitions have assigned to themselves, that they're just nurturing. It might take them a little bit more time to potentially get that deal. But usually within the next 60 to 90 days, kind of maximum. And then there's our long-term nurture leads, which are deals that just maybe aren't even interested. For some reason, they came into our system as if they were interested, but they're not right now, or it's bad timing, or maybe it's sometime in the far future. Maybe they say, yeah, we're ready in the summertime. So there's no reason to keep that in short-term nurture when that's still good 6 months out probably. So anyways, we have these long-term nurture leads that we end up having thousands of leads in there. And they've always just kind of sat there, and that's lots of money. I mean, that's probably literally hundreds of thousands of dollars that we've spent in marketing money to even get those leads. 2,000 plus leads probably in that queue right now. So we have a follow-up specialist that can handle those now, so that's pretty exciting. But anyways, other news, we've got. Man, it's been tough. These closings keep getting pushed. Like one of our appraisals on a novation deal came back $12,000 below what we sold the house for, which that's terrible, right? And obviously this isn't a perfect retail deal. However, it is in pretty good shape. We spent money on cleaning the property out because the seller left all their junk. They took everything they wanted, just like we're doing wholesaling. Took everything they wanted and left the stuff that they didn't want. So, we paid to have all of that hauled off and cleaned out. And then also, we paid to have it professionally cleaned. That was just part of the deal when the buyer agreed to buy this from us. They were paying full price, no inspections, none of that. They were good with everything as is. The only things they asked for was to get it cleaned out, all the junk hauled away, and then to get it professionally cleaned. So we did both of those things. But little did we know, after they hauled all the junk away, there was like some mold looking stuff in the washer area where the washer was. So when the appraisal came, that didn't get cleaned out, obviously, because there was mold. So the appraiser did not like that at all. He pretty much freaked out, is what my disposition manager said. So I ended up hiring, one of my contractors to just go there for the day, cut all that drywall out, kills all the mold inside the wall if there was any, and then re-drywall it, tape, bed, texture, paint, put new trim around it, all that stuff, just to ease the mind of the appraiser that we got it fixed. Anyway, so the appraiser went back out, saw that it was really clean, all that was done. But anyways, the appraisal still came back $12,000 short. So, that sucks because this deal, novation deal, we're basically making money off of something we normally wouldn't have been able to make money on at all. So it's not like it was a huge spread. Sometimes they are, but this particular deal, after we paid for these expenses, I also had to pay to get the utilities back on because for whatever reason, somebody on my team dropped the ball and did not make sure that the seller was keeping the utilities on. So they turned them off. Sellers are slow. He was willing to turn them back on, but we couldn't wait anymore. We couldn't even show the house after dark because there was no utilities. Anyways, so we did pay to get those back on as well. So we've got these extra expenses on top of we're paying all the realtor fees. We did pay those minor repairs, even though the buyer didn't ask for that. We just did it hoping that, that would make the appraiser happy. But nevertheless, $12,000 below appraisal. We only had about, after all expenses, about 13.5 was going to be our profit on that deal. So obviously, we don't want to make $1,500 for all the work that we've done. So next step now, we're trying to get the original deal renegotiated with the seller, only because, hey, the whole thing about novations, we're helping them sell their property, to an end buyer, and they know that. Well, if the appraisal comes back lower, that's not our fault. That's in no one's control because we can't control that. So, we're trying to renegotiate that. Even if we can renegotiate half, and then potentially the buyer can split the other half with us, we'd be happy with that. Because if the seller ends up paying 6 of that 12, then we would still be at 7,000 or so profit. And then if the actual buyer will pay 3 of the leftover 6, we split that with him, then we can still make 10, because that's kind of our goal to be as a minimum, because novation deals, they're great because you can make money where you wouldn't have otherwise, but it is a lot more work, because there's a lot more paperwork. You're dealing with retail buyers, inspections, appraisals, showings, all those things. So obviously the whole team has already put a lot of work into this property. So we want to make sure they get paid for it, because that $1,500 profit, when everybody gets their cut, we're basically making nothing, breaking even. So we can't do that. Anyways, so that's that. Another deal that we have on a flip that I did. We got a full price offer a week or so ago. Inspections happened. So let me back up a little bit. We actually agreed that, the buyer and the realtor agreed. We had it in the wording on the counteroffer and everything that we all signed. And they agreed to buy it as is, no matter what the inspection said. We just agreed to go ahead and give them $6,000. They can use that towards closing, towards potential repairs, whatever they wanted to use it for. But that meant, don't come back later and ask for more money. This is for your repairs, if there is any needed. You use it for a down payment, whatever you want to do. We're giving you $6,000 basically. They gave us full price, and then we're giving them $6,000 back at closing, basically. Anyways, long story short, after the appraisal, or not the appraisal, but after the inspections, the electricity panel, the panels were just older. We changed out all the electrical outlets, the receptacles, and the light switches and everything, just to make all that look nice. And the electricity actually works really good. And it's a house, probably 19, I don't even remember, maybe 60. And yes, it's not 2022 electrical panels, which we knew that, but they are grandfathered in because we didn't do any add-ons to the house or anything like that. All we did was remodel it, and everything works perfectly. And we did make sure that it's got all the GFIs and everything that's needed. So it's in perfect working condition. And actually, the inspection did not even say that it needed to be replaced. They just recommended it. So, long story short, now the buyer's realtor is asking us to pay an extra $5,000 when we already gave them 6. So I'm pretty stubborn. So we actually have a backup offer on this property, all cash as is, but that offer is actually $15,000 less than we sold the property for. So even when you take the $6,000 out, even if I paid the $5,000, which I don't want to, we would still come on top more taking the offer that we already have accepted, and not that cash deal. But to be honest, I'm really stubborn, and I'm thinking about, if they don't want to just do the deal, like, hey, we all signed that we would pay $6,000. It was specific to that was towards closing costs, any down payment, any inspections, or even if the lender asks you to do something, repair wise to close the deal. All those things were written out and spelled out to where, hey, we're giving you $6,000 for all that period. And we both signed it. The seller signed it. I signed it because I own the house. And this particular house is the flip. So I don't know. I'm thinking about telling them, well, we already sent the contract, the counteroffer that they signed, and highlighted that portion that they agreed to. So we're waiting to hear back on that. But I'm just thinking if they don't agree to that, like I'm not giving them 5 more. I've already given them 6. And I'm not going to take the backup offer either. I don't really care. I will keep the property for a rental because it's a good house. I mean, it's a nice house that I could probably rent for $1,500 a month. And my mortgage on that house would probably be, I could probably get a mortgage on that house for like $175. So I could probably get a payment at around $900 to $1,000 a month, all in taxes and insurance and everything. So, I mean, that's a good property actually to just keep that I can make probably $500 a month on. So that's the difference where, when you're in the driver's seat, it's like they try, that's the thing, like these buyers, realtors try to bully you, and it just doesn't work on me, because I don't really care. I don't have to sell the house. We would make, I think we're making maybe $35,000 profit plus getting all the money back my actual cash that I put into it, which was around, I don't even know, 40, 45, somewhere in that ballpark. But, I'm already all in for like 175 on this house, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. I could just get a loan for that because it's worth, probably 230. I mean, we sold it for 225, which is our asking price, but I can get all my money back and keep the property forever and probably be worth it to do that. So that's the thing. They can't strong arm me or push me in the corner, So it is what it is. But another thing is we got a deal. One of my acquisition managers got a new deal the other day. It's in a smaller town. That's the only downfall, but it's a smoking deal because basically it's a motel. But one of those single story motels that you kind of just drive up and walk in the doors. So it's one of those lower end type, but they've already converted like 4 of the units into efficiency apartments, and they had a couple of them rented, and they had a couple of other spots they were like rented out to businesses. I think you can get away with a little bit more on these smaller towns, but anyways, I was thinking about buying it myself because we got it at such a good price, and then converting all of it. It's like 20 units plus the owner's unit. They made like a 3-bed, 4-bath, which I think it took up like 5 or 6 of the actual rental units. So it probably used to be like 26, but it's 21 now, I think, plus the owner's unit. But man, if I convert those, even if it's all bills paid, even if I only charge $500 a month, that would be worth it with the price that we're buying it at. And it just needs minor cosmetic repairs. Everything is in good working order, and it's actually pretty good. Like I said, 4 of them have already been fully remodeled and turned into efficiencies. Because literally, if you think about a hotel room, they've got the shower. Well, this particular motel, it's got the shower and toilet in one room, and then the sink. It's a real long, wide sink in a separate area, outside the bathroom. Then you've got your large, bedroom, and usually a little space for like a desk area. And that's exactly how this is. So really, we could take the sink out. It could just be a dual purpose. Put in like a kitchen sink there, and then on the right side of that, because it's a pretty wide countertop, I would say maybe 6 feet if I was guessing. So you could actually put an insert, a electric stove insert into that. I don't know what those cost, but it can't be too much. Probably $300-400, I'm guessing. Add that into each unit, and then they can buy their own little 3/4 fridge or mini fridge, whatever they want to do. They can have a full-blown efficiency apartment for just probably after you do some of the minor repairs. I would think that I could get every unit done for a couple of $1,000s per unit. So for between 25 to 40 grand, probably remodel the entire place and have them all ready to rent. So I'm thinking about taking that down myself. So let me know what y'all think. We're getting the property for, I think, 120 grand. And then if I put 40 into it, I'm in it for 160. And that would be a minimum of 21 units. So 160,000 all in, divided by 21 units. That's $7,600 a door. I mean, that's unheard of. People are excited when they get properties at 20,000 a door or 30,000 a door, even, because that's crazy. So even if I had half of it vacant, it would more than pay for the mortgage, because a mortgage on 160 grand is not going to be a lot. $1,000 a month, probably somewhere in that ballpark. So even if I get a couple of units rented at 500, I mean, it's a win either way you look at it, small town or not. So anyways, thinking about that one, but that's really all that's going on. You can probably tell in my voice I've got a little bit of a cold, but it's not that big a deal. It's not the Rona. I've had that before, but yeah, I'm just working, man. Got the new acquisition manager started last week. Got my new follow-up specialist started this week. It's been a slow week for leads so far, which is kind of odd, because we did add a third radio station. I'm not sure if I told y'all yet, but I think I did last week that I signed a TV deal to be on TV in Oklahoma City. So I'm excited about that. I'll be going down there in a couple of weeks to record the commercials. So yeah, that's really all that's going on in my world right now. Life of a real estate investor, just kind of fighting through some of these fires, like the low appraisal and people asking for money after they agreed to not, just little things like that. Part of the game, at the end of the day, even if I accepted both of those, we still make money. Yeah, only 1,500 on the other, but still over 30 grand on the other deal, so it's not the end of the world. Even if we wanted to accept them, I'm just more stubborn probably than most people. So I like to push back a little bit when I get pushed. So anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. If you got any value, give me a thumbs up. Drop me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on any of the situations I spoke about. So anyways, hope to talk to y'all soon, and I'll see you in the next video.